as well as one of the oldest bars in the country. And then on our right, we have our Vietnam Veterans Memorial. While it's not as grand as its sister in Washington, D.C., it is still an incredibly beautiful monument to all those who served in the Vietnam War in the 1960s. Now we'll be able to see the Seaport Harbor Museum. It is this ship with the yellow stacks over here. You can see these beautiful hammocks here at Spruce Tree Harbor Park. And then across the river we have the worst place known to man, New Jersey. I'm from Jersey, I can make that one. Now, typically that is Camden, New Jersey. There's a lot of really cool stuff to do on the Camden waterfront as well. We have the Adventure Aquarium, great place to bring the kids to touch a shark, touch a stingray, or even walk through a shark tunnel. Or walk through across a shark bridge over the shark tanks. We also have the Battleship New Jersey, the World War II battleship, that just moved for the first time since 1990. Now, it moved over to the Philadelphia Naval Yard in order to get a little bit of repairs done. It was only gone for about 2 months, and then returned back to the Camden waterfront. Now, that ship cannot move on its own anymore. It had to be pulled across the Delaware River in order to get to the Naval Yard, with the assistance of tugboats. Now, as we turn here, we're going to turn onto Dock Street. Dock Street used to be known as Dock Creek, as this little stretch of land used to be a little creek where the Delaware flowed into. But as time went on, it got harder and harder for ships to make their way up the creek. So instead we built a street that was much easier for horses and buggies to ride on than it will be for us on the tour bus. As we turn here, I highly recommend leaning back and letting yourself get a nice little back massage here. Now on our left-hand side here, we have our Korean War Monument, as well as these 3 towers in front of us, the Society Hill Towers. Now, the Society Hill Towers here were actually designed by the same person who designed the Louvre in Paris, France, where the Mona Lisa is stored. Now, there's not too much to talk about on this little stretch here, so I'm going to get into some musical trivia. Has anyone heard the song Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John? Well, that song was written by Sir Elton John in collaboration with a local tennis star, Miss Billie Jean King of the Philadelphia Freedom's tennis team, the first ever all-women's tennis team in our country. Now, it is a beautiful song dedicated to our city, but Elton John is not from Philadelphia. We do have a lot of great musicians who come from Philly, though, like the band Green Day. They made their first record here in Philadelphia on South Street. We have Joan Jett of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, John Hall of Hall & Oates, Meek Mill, Will Smith, and many, many more. And actually, you go walk on South Broad Street, you'll see our own version of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, with plaques of every single big musician to make it big in Philadelphia. Now that on our left, that is Zahav. Zahav is one of the best restaurants in the city. It is Israeli cuisine, won 2019 best restaurant in the city, or in the country rather. Now I'd recommend eating there, but only if you plan on being back here in another 3 months, as that is how long it takes to fulfill a reservation here at Zahav. Now we're about to turn back into Old City here. Now, we're about to see a bell here. This bell is not the Liberty Bell. This is the Bicentennial Bell, placed here in 1976 for our 200-year celebrations of America. We're actually getting the city ready for 2026 when we are having our 250th year celebrations of the city. Now, or of the country rather. It's going to be a party all year long here in Philly, as we're going to have the MLB All-Star Game, the 2026 World Cup, as well as 2026 WrestleMania. Now on our left here we have the first Bank of America, founded by our first treasurer, Mr. Alexander Hamilton. Yes, that one from the play. Still annoyed that the city of Philadelphia was not mentioned once in that play, because I mean, come on, how are you going to ignore